cast your minds back to April of 2020.
Oh God, no! Please stop! It's unbearable!
Anticipation of a new Crash game was growing stronger and stronger until finally there was an early leak. For real this time, guys, I swear. It was Crash on the Run, the latest epic from King, starring our favourite orange pal smashing and slamming his way to victory on our mobile devices. I'll admit that, yeah, I was seriously hyped. I don't know about all of you, but I often find myself on my phone playing games while I'm waiting for a bus or just sitting around bored. Usually that's alongside a deep depression, but still, the thought of my favourite franchise getting an endless runner had me truly stoked, and I could not wait to get my hands on it.
Well, that was 12 months ago. So, let's see if it was worth the wait.
The lead up to release for On the Run was incredibly peculiar in my opinion. While it is common for mobile titles to soft launch in select regions just to test certain things with the game as well as to gauge consumers' interest, it's far more obscure to see one of these games officially announced and then receive months and months of advanced marketing across social media with multiple trailers and tons of promotion. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing everything and getting hyped up, but it was a really strange move. Given the soft launch leaked and then almost overnight, everyone and their pet Bandicoot had already played what was available and covered the game ad nauseum. It was an odd decision.
Now, I was planning to cover the game last year, but opted to wait for the full release, figuring that would make for a better video. But, had I known the game was going to take a full year to drop, man, there is no way that I would have waited, because my excitement and anticipation completely died during that time.
Remember when some people jumped to the conclusion that On the Run was going to be the official Crash 4? Well, this game took so long to officially drop that the real Crash 4 was announced and released. So I'd say it's about time we finally get to stepping on this mobile adventure. The game is an endless runner, much like many of its predecessors on the platform. Not so much Temple Run, think Subway Surfers or Sonic Dash as a more accurate comparison. So all we really do is run through each of the levels, smashing crates and avoiding the various hazards we all know and love from a feast of classic Crash locations. All of which look superb, and with the combination of a great, bouncy soundtrack of reimagined and original music, it's incredibly fun charging through the islands once again. When you reach the end of a level, you chase down and viciously incinerate whomever stands in your way to collect a gem. Standard stuff at the end of the day. New levels are opened up one by one as you collect more rewards, and everything is accessed from Coco's Island base. Here we can see who we're up against in battle, complete daily tasks for rewards, and get to cooking on important items that we'll discuss shortly. Or you can join a team and earn trophies in survival runs against other bot runners. So on the surface, there is a lot to unpack here and plenty to keep you occupied. Each boss character has an army of foot soldiers ahead of them, and I love how this game isn't shy to draw inspiration from the entire franchise with its inclusions. Zombots from Twinsanity's Academy of Evil, little robots who fire those red-eye rockets from Nitro Kart, and even the elemental masks are here, which is great to see. But the flip side of that is some of the stranger inclusions. We also get to face off against Crash's arch nemesis, the dastardly menace who bullies orphans and lights fires, Pink Elephant. Seriously, why is this cut character from Twinsanity so overexposed in this damn game? I just can't escape him. And hey, don't even get me started on Iron Checkpoint Crate, okay? Crash developers, please, can we stop feeding into the overinflated egos of the Crash Bandicoot subredditors who demand every single thing ever appears in every single future game in the franchise? Sure, we got a few laughs and mostly groans out of Nitro Fueled while it lasted, but it's getting old. and none of these examples are more egregious in my opinion than the inclusion of Mr. Crumb.
As much as I can appreciate devs exploring Crash's full history outside of the classic Naughty Dog titles, of all the things you could include, why does your brain go straight to Crash 99X? What the fuck even is Crash 99X?
For those of you who are unfamiliar, so I'm guessing most of you, Crash had a couple of portable LCD games back in the day. The ones you're probably most familiar with were the McDonald's toys, either the initial set or the ones I'm more familiar with that were used to promote Crash and Spyro's crossover on the Game Boy Advance. But there were also some handhelds developed by Tiger, who held a monopoly on this type of ass cancer. Crash Bandicoot 99X was one of these games. A simple title with a horror theme that saw the ghostly Mr. Crumb as the final boss. So it's absolutely absurd to think that anybody who doesn't sleep with their cock inside of a Crash Bandicoot body pillow gives a flying fuck about this guy over 2 decades later.
Now, I will admit that, yes, I sleep with my cock inside of a Crash Bandicoot body pillow. And I will also admit that, yes, to some degree, I find the resurrection and true realization of this character after all of these years to be a cool little piece of Crash history. But I have zero tolerance for the loud, obnoxious, vocal minority of the online community who absolutely do not represent the entire community, having such a mass amount of power to inject their shitty memes into new games in this series. Because if we continue down this road, then I can guarantee it will only be bad news for this franchise. So in the future, please refer to this comprehensive list of respectable obscure characters who absolutely deserve a spot in the next Crash game.
Well, now that all of that is out of the way, I want to talk about what the core gameplay structure is like here. Given the title, yes, Crash does a lot of running in this game, but what is he on the run from? The police? A psycho ex-girlfriend? Or boyfriend, we don't discriminate here. Or is he just running away from all of life's problems, just like the rest of us? Well, I'm afraid that there is no escape, because what you're gonna find if you decide to launch this game for yourself is a whole new dump of daily problems to work through. The main objective is, of course, progressing through the different armies of boss characters, but before you can face them, you need a certain selection of weapon items. 4 different flavours of potions, bombs, ray guns, and eventually bazookas, and all of these need to be crafted with collectible items. This is where the collection runs come in, with the goal to sprint an endless loop of splitting paths to raid the land of all of its valuable resources. You can only find certain items in specific locations, and it's crucial to learn the layouts to make sure these runs are as efficient as possible. Once you've got everything on your grocery list, it's time to cook. The longevity of this type of mobile game begins to creep in at this point, because you need to sit around and wait in real time for these weapons to finish crafting. It starts off brief, but it quickly grows to total absurdity after a few waves of enemies. Now, you do have the option of spending power crystals to speed the whole process up, but these are incredibly limited, so it's best just to kill some time elsewhere while we wait. Given we have to wait for the items in each level to restock as well, let's do some challenge runs to kill the time. These are tough courses with varying objectives, such as destroying all of the enemies, breaking every crate, or just surviving to the end without taking a hit, and completing these rewards you with crystals to spend, additional items for crafting, as well as coloured gems, which are worthless. Gee, thanks game. We can also do time trials for relics too, which are also worthless. Then what's the point? It's not like the team leaderboards keep track of who has the fastest time, so who cares? At the end of the day, the only thing really left to do is survival runs against the bots. But of course, King completely failed us from day one, because there was only one single course to play for the first 2 weeks that the game was available. And goddamn, I am sick of looking at it. finally they added Barrett, but it's essentially the same course construction, just with a snow skin. So if the game is just going to recycle all of this over, why can't we do survival runs in every level theme to mix things up?
So, we're fucked. That's the thing I really hate about mobile games designed around this long-term addiction, is that even if I am having fun and want to keep playing, instead I'm continuously forced to stop. There is nothing to do until my ice bazooka finishes crafting, Turtle Woods has been completely stripped bare of glow bark, and there is essentially no point to attempting challenge runs. So I guess the only thing we can really do is turn the game off and think of something else to talk about. No, why should I have to wait? I've already waited 12 months to play this damn game. Surely there's got to be something else we can discuss.
While we're on the topic of level themes, I'd like to have a moan about a few of them. The first island was all around an incredibly solid start to the game with great locations, minus Lost City, which is kinda dull. Once you defeat Frosty Brio and move on to the next area though, is where this completely falls off a cliff. Ice Warp Island? Yeah, more like Arsewipe Island. We get 2 snow areas in a row, which is sucky, especially when Barrett doesn't even feature Polar. What the hell? His gameplay is literally running forward and changing lanes. That would have been a perfect inclusion to break things up, while still retaining the core mechanics of how the game is played. But they probably saw how garbage he was to drive in Crash 4 and got cold feet. The sewers are also a bit shit, with almost none of the iconic enemies or hazards, and a severe lack of monkey bars, which again, could have been very easily implemented to help these levels feel more dynamic. Instead, they're just generic, stinky, and broken beyond belief. Just in general, things feel unfinished in places. It's been an entire year since the game soft launched. Why is it still so easily broken? What were you doing that entire time? Clearly not much given how little thought was put into this part of the game. Not only do the level locations all start to blend in together visually and with their objectives, but it's like they ran out of characters to use, so get ready for an onslaught of bootleg clones. I've murdered so many reskinned ants, arachnids, crabs and elephants, they're officially on the extinction list. I can at least accept that for minor foes, but the main villains too? You've faced Nina Cortex, you've battled hard against Frosty Nina, but you won't stand up to the challenge of Inferno Nina. Yeah, she's dead. It's the same damn thing every single time, all while advertised characters such as Tiny, Kong and Engine are not even in the game yet. Well, according to my attractive source anyway, 'cause be fucked if I've made it far enough through to find out for myself. And you want to talk about underutilized characters getting some spotlight? Where is Pinstripe, the evil twins, or Nash? Hell, I'd take Rillaroo, Ratsicle, or even Willy Wampa Cheeks. I'll fight King Chicken, I do not care. Just give me some variety, please. This game is desperate for it. I understand they want longevity and they've got the different elemental items, but that shouldn't necessarily dictate how many characters we get to face along the way. And at this rate, given just how insane the requirements are for items and farming gets to even battle them in the first place, I am just so sick of playing this game.
Now granted, this is supposed to be played over many weeks and months, because that's simply the nature of mobile gaming. I get that. But it's still such a slog to get through. I'm sick of playing it. I've got blisters on my fingers, for God's sake. I simply cannot handle any more of this. With all of the tireless collecting items, cooking weapons, collecting items and cooking weapons, collecting items and cooking weapons, and competing in survival runs over and over and over and over and fucking over again, When are you going to cut me a break? Because my patience is wearing incredibly thin right now. I mean, unless there's something in the store. I mean, we haven't really looked at the store yet. You know, what if there's something in there that could help me get through the game a bit quicker, perhaps? No, I don't want to spend any money on this game. But you know what? Let's just quickly check the store and see if there's any special item boosters or something like that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, I don't want to pay to win, but there are the very limited daily rewards, but maybe some skins will help me get through the game a bit quicker. They each come with their own perks that boost your earning capabilities on both different enemy types and collecting items. Cosmetically, some of them are dire trash, but most of them look really cool. But it's still so many crystals to spend. Oh, hang on, what's this? My team won the first season event and whoa! Look at all the cool shit we got! Additional skins and a ton of crystals. Excellent. And now that nitrous oxide is here, we've got reward tiers and additional missions for earning trophies faster that will surely increase our team's chances of winning again next season. But the problem is, this requires you to trade your valuable resources, so that's not going to help me at all. This is just a cruel prank, you asshole game. Nope, that's it. That's the straw that broke this camel's back. I'm not playing any more of this goddamn forsaken mess. No more. Okay, fine. I made it up to Cortex anyway, so we may as well finish this thing off. Look at this bastard. Why does he even try at this point? Weak baby bitch. Oh, well I guess he's not the final boss after all. So, who could possibly be next? Entropy? Entrance? This game is dumb. King's interpretation of Cash Bandicoot is really just that, an excuse to make bank off the value of this property. Having said that, what we've got here is without question the most fleshed out mobile Crash game we've ever seen after years of bare bones titles on early mobile phones. And even though I'm truly sick of the constant burden to obtain ingredients for cooking items that are then used to build other stuff, played in the downtime of my day, it scratches an itch for me. It's just a shame that all of that effort grinding through will only ever reward you with more of the same, given this game's ridiculous lack of variety. And after all of that time leading up to release, what have you even got to show for it? A mediocre 4 out of 10. I'm rather curious to follow the game over time and see where it ends up, but as it stands now, Crash on the Run is your standard, run-of-the-mill mobile experience. Worth a go if you're a fan of the franchise, but it's more of a novelty title than anything else. I'd like to see some more dynamic structure added into new courses with future updates, along with an additional variety of characters to fight. But the way I see it, this game is only going to become more and more of a pain in the ass as time goes on. Because I can't stop playing it. No, of course I can't. Not now. I've already put too much time and effort into this to stop. Just gotta keep running. Am I right, boys? Just gotta keep running. What? You think I have a problem? No, I don't have a problem. I just get bored waiting for the bus, that's all. And you know, even though I hate this game, it's better than no game. It's better than nothing, I suppose. No, I am not addicted. I'm not addicted to this game. Just because I bought the $8 Bandicoot pass, that doesn't prove anything. No. I got my money's worth out of it. Look at all these cool rewards it gave me. No, That doesn't prove anything. I'm not addicted to this game. Even though I can't stop playing it. Okay guys, I may be prepared to admit something very deep and personal to you here right now. But I think I have a problem. You know, whenever I see the Bandicoot, I'm just forced to consume. Anyway guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and remember to share it with your friends and on social media. I'm Square Eye Jack, and I hope you have a great fucking day. Thanks for watching.